Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Welcome back to Golden Squad. Last time, we had Jade get away with one of the biggest scores she's seen to date. Also, Edward gets introduced to an interesting new case at his law firm.
2 weeks later, you're feeling pretty happy about that job. Seth's all healed up. Tommy is feeling better. He still got money. You all got money. You all got about 20,000.
Nice.
And that's just from Fence. You got an additional 50,000 each from the safe, the money that was in the safe.
Wow. Living the big life.
You guys have partied.
We spent all of our money now.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, it's all gone. So you have to plan the next job. Because you have no money now, Seth, he's like, I realize that you're growing up, and I think you gotta learn a few more tools of the trade, and so I want you to plan most of this next heist. So I have a few places in mind, but I think you should be the one that plans this one.
Oh shit.
And I mean, I'll of course help if you want any help, but let's let you put this one together.
I feel like I've been put on the spot.
He says, like, I've been scouting a few places, but I have one pretty strong contender if you want to look at that.
Yeah, let's check that one out. Let's check out the strong contender.
Yeah, he says, okay, I was out driving the other day. I just bought this new Mustang, and I was taking it for a test drive, and I saw this Lamborghini pull up, and I thought it looked super sick, and I just had to see where it came from. So I followed it back to their house, and it's this huge compound. It looks like they have a decent amount of security, but I think we could bypass it pretty easily. And we have masks, so we should be able to get around that. And I looked up who the owners were on Google, and it turns out they own this like defense company. So they probably have some like really nice tech stuff that we could sell to Fence in there. Fence told me that he's been looking for any kind of technology that he could sell for a high price. He's been looking to get into that field a little bit more, and so he said that he'd give us double what his normal rate is if we could get him some like high-tech gadgets.
Sweet.
It checks all the boxes. I mean, it's a little bit higher risk, but I think it's worth the reward.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you want to go scout it out?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Okay, so you hop in Seth's new Mustang. You drive over to the compound. Are you going to take Tommy with you, or is it just going to be you and Seth?
I feel like Tommy's part of the team.
You and Seth and Tommy drive over to this building. You notice that it has a wall out front. It has a decent sized gate. From what you can see from the road, they have a 5-car garage.
Wow.
It looks like it has like a separate little side house. You can see some security cameras. One of them is on the gate. You notice the second one is on the front of the garage. The camera on the garage does not point towards the gate though. It points towards the garage. The garage is kind of L-shaped. And the camera is on one corner of the L, and it points towards the other corner of the L. The front of the property has a wall in front of it, and it has some shrubs on either side of a iron gate.
Okay. Want to scout out the back of the house?
So there's a wall in front of it.
Oh, okay.
You can't go back there without hopping the wall or something.
Okay.
And there are cameras.
Okay.
So then Tommy says he saw a trick with like a laser to disable a camera. Unfortunately, the one on the garage is not facing the right direction to get, but he can disable the one that's on the gate.
Okay, let's do it.
He says we should probably scout it for a few more days. I can disable the camera like today or tomorrow, and then maybe in a few days we actually hit this house if we're going to do that.
Okay.
We probably want to hit it at night.
No, broad daylight. No, I'm just kidding.
If you want to.
No. Well, depending on when they're gone, I suppose, but...
A few days later, Tommy has disabled the front gate camera. Seth found out that the house is owned by a guy named Shane Miller.
Okay.
He owns a company called Fortify. It's a defense technology company. So they manufacture both weapons and like armored vehicles and armored equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And they sell it to either like governments or they sell it to private contractors. Yeah, he lives there with his wife, and they are on vacation. They had just left.
Okay.
Tommy was also he was like trying to scout the rest of the house, like you had suggested. He found out that the back of the house, there's like a cliff behind it. It goes to like a wooded nature preserve, but the house is up on a cliff. He says that if you need to make a quick getaway, maybe going down the cliff and into the nature preserve is a good getaway.
Okay.
So maybe like as a safety measure, just in case someone comes home or something, you could like escape out the cliff way.
Yeah, because we have had a couple run-ins with them coming home early, Tommy.
He says, we got to be professional. We have an escape plan in case someone's home or the cops show up or something. Then we can just all go out the back off the cliff. Like I can set up some stuff so we can get away quickly once we get out there.
So yeah, like, let's get started. Does Tommy know I have powers yet?
No.
So maybe Seth can distract Tommy.
So you're going to do it like this night, at night?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Do it at night.
Okay. You go at night. Tommy has disabled the front gate camera, and as you're driving up and getting ready to go in, Tommy says, okay, there's one thing we're going to need to do for sure. I scouted it out. I looked up the brand of the cameras, and I have a friend that works at that company, and he said that those type of cameras, they have a central recording unit, so we can't just break the cameras. We need to go and destroy the records of their recordings on their computer inside the house. So we need to make sure that of the things we hit, we have to hit that so that they can't keep the recordings of us breaking in.
All right. So that's something we deal with when we get inside.
Yeah. So maybe we break the cameras so that they get less footage in case they do recover it. But we need to also destroy the footage that they do have.
Let's do it.
You pull up. You notice that all the main house lights are off. There's some lights around the garage that are on, and some lights off in the side house that are on.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy said that those lights have always been on. Like every time he came to check it out, those lights have always been on.
Okay.
He's also been scouting it every few days. He was looking for security patrols or dogs or anything like that. He didn't see anything.
Okay.
So you pull up to the gate. You, Seth, and Tommy scale it. Tommy ends up ripping his jacket as he's going over. So he has a big rip on the side of his jacket.
Smooth.
He's kind of leading the way because he's been doing a lot of the scouting for this. He's like, okay, I'll get this camera. And he runs up and he pulls out a crowbar and he smashes the camera that's looking at the garage. And he goes, okay, now we got to go in and we got to take out the server that has all the video information. Do you guys want to hit the garage? How do you want to split this up?
Yeah, I'll go around back and see if there's any way I can get in.
To the house or to the garage?
To the house.
Okay. Tommy says, do you want me to check the garage?
Yeah.
Okay. And Seth's like, am I coming with you? You're the mastermind here now.
Why don't you wait out front in case I can get in, and I'll let you in.
Okay. Seth kind of goes over by the front door. Tommy, you hear him using the crowbar to kind of pry open the garage. You go around the back of the house. You notice the cliff that Tommy was talking about. It's like a 15-foot drop that goes down to some dirt.
I'll teleport in, and then I will go let Seth and Tommy in, or should I go disable the...
You don't know where it is. You could go look for it.
I'll just let them in first.
Okay, so roll perception real quick.
20.
Oh, okay. So you notice that there are several cameras around the inside of the house, and where you teleported to is already in the sight of the cameras. The cameras can see you, but you are wearing a mask and a uniform. You follow the direction towards where the front door would be. You notice the front door. Seth is waiting outside.
So I'll open the door and let him in.
Okay. Are you gonna tell Tommy to come too, or is you gonna let him play with the garage?
I'll let him know to come if hasn't found a way in, because he knows where the stuff is. Yeah.
Tommy's able to get the garage open, but he doesn't really go in by the time you get to the front door. He's like, how'd you get in here so quick? That's nuts. You guys are crazy. But I like it. Super professional. And so he's like, it's right around this corner here. We just gotta go and turn right as we go in, and there's an office with a computer, and we'll just destroy the computer and make sure all of its hard drives are dead, and then we should be good. So you turn the corner. Tommy opens the door. It's an office. It has some bookshelves and stuff, and a computer and a monitor. And you see on the monitor that there are several cameras, some in the house, some out front. Tommy just walks over and starts smashing the computer with his crowbar.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
He's smashing it very well.
So there won't be any way to get the...
Do you want to take any additional steps? He is trying to smash the hard drives. He knows what a hard drive looks like, but Tommy's not the smartest guy. So if you want to take any additional steps to make sure that this data is gone, feel free.
I don't really know what I would do, but I just feel like you have to go in and delete the files.
He's already smashing the computer. It is not in operation anymore.
All right, well, make sure you smash it to bits. I guess I'll see if is there anything else of value. Let's split up and check out the house then.
Okay.
We'll give it like 15 minutes or so.
Sounds good. So there's 3 levels to this. There's a downstairs, there's the main floor that you're on, and there's an upstairs. Which one do you want to take?
I'll take the main floor, and then Tommy can go upstairs and Seth can go downstairs.
Okay.
And break.
Yeah, so Tommy goes upstairs. You hear him rifling through a bunch of stuff. Seth attempts to go downstairs, but he is stopped by the door. He tries to kick it down. You hear him kick it a few times and hit it with his crowbar. He eventually calls you over before you can really get very far away, and he goes, "This door's like reinforced or something. I can't get through it."
Is it locked? Can I lockpick it or?
You can try to lockpick it.
Sure, why not? Let's do that.
Okay, so roll sleight of hand.
Aw. I rolled a 4 + 8.
That is not enough.
Dang. I guess I'm pretty strong. Can I try to break it down?
Yeah.
Ooh, I rolled a 20.
Oh, so you kick the door and it just shatters under your kick, and you see a stairway leading down. As you look down the staircase and down to the basement, it looks more like a hospital.
Sounds creepy.
Seth says, "Thanks, I got this. 15 minutes, let's go."
All right.
And he starts going down the stairs.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to skip 15 minutes, and I don't know, do you have fun looking for loot? Okay, if that's fun for you, we can play that game, but...
No, I mean, we can... If that's all there is to it,
yeah,
then...
That's what it would be. If you want to look for loot...
I mean, it's fine.
Okay, I have something planned, though. After about 10 minutes, you are surprised to hear an alarm going off.
Uh-oh.
You did notice an alarm system in the house, but it was a manually triggered alarm system, and it was in the like entryway. You'd passed by the entryway several times and you didn't see anything.
Well, we should probably reconvene and leave if an alarm system's going off.
Okay, so you see Seth coming up the stairs with his bag full of loot. You see his flashlight from downstairs. You see Tommy coming downstairs. You notice that they both have their bags full of loot. Roll perception for me.
13 plus 9.
You take a look at the alarm that's near the entryway. It says guest house alarm triggered on it.
Okay. I forgot there was a guest house.
You can see out the door. The door has a small window on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person out front of the house. And this person is on the phone, presumably calling the cops.
Is it Airbnb guest or something?
They're wearing like a bathrobe.
Okay.
And Tommy says, he screams because the siren is super loud. He says, "Crap, that's the daughter of the guy who lives here. I didn't know she was here."
God damn it, Tommy.
Tommy says, "We need to get out of here right now. They're going to be here any minute. Their response time for this place is teeny."
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Okay, so you head out the back. There's a back door that you guys go through. Are you going to go over the cliff?
Unless we can get to our car soon enough and drive, but I'm imagining the police are close.
Seth says they're going to find the car, and if they find the car, they're going to find us. I think we need to split up. I'll go get the car and get it out of here. You two go down the cliff and get to the getaway vehicle on that side.
Oh, there's a getaway vehicle on that side. Okay.
Yeah, it was our backup plan. I need to hide our evidence on the front, though.
Good job, us.
I think I can run around and sneak by that lady and get to our car.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay, so he says, "Good luck, guys. I'll see you in a bit."
Okay.
He sneaks off around the house.
Okay, let's go.
You and Tommy go down the cliff. You make it to your getaway dirt bikes, and you ride through the nature preserve to your meetup with Seth. But Seth does not show up.
No.
About a day later, Tommy gets a call. Apparently, Seth got caught.
So he's in jail.
Yeah, he is calling from jail. He says he was able to use the money that he got from the previous robbery to get a decent lawyer. He thinks he has a good shot because you and Tommy took the loot, so they don't have any evidence that he stole it. Unfortunately, not all of the data was on the hard drive. There is some like video footage out there, but he says he has a good lawyer and that he was wearing a mask and he doesn't have any of the valuables, so he thinks he has a good shot about getting off.
Okay.
And so this Tommy like has relayed this all to you.
Oh shoot. That crazy kid went and got himself caught.
Next up is Edward.
So after about a year of working with Andy, he says Pitt, Walker, and Olson they'll take on pro bono cases occasionally to improve their image. And this year it's Andy's turn to choose a pro bono case, and he chose it's a defense case. So you'll be working with Dan and him. Basically, there's a guy and he's charged with breaking and entering. He broke into it was a residence. It was like a upper scale residence, but the residence was also the CEO and founder of this large weapons manufacturer, and he had a laboratory in his house, and so he is charged with like stealing some of this family's. They've claimed that he stole not only their money and their jewelry and things like that, but they also stole proprietary like technology. So they caught the guy that did it, but they did not recover any of the stuff. And they caught him like near the house. The police apprehended the suspect within like a few blocks of the house. And when they caught him, he just like surrendered. But they were unable to recover any of the stuff that the family claims he's taken.
But then how do they know that it was him then?
He's on camera.
Oh.
So they caught him like minutes after.
Okay.
The police show up and capture him like a block away from the house, and he's wearing the same things. He doesn't have his mask on anymore. He had a mask on when he was at the house, but he does not have a mask on when the police catch him. And yeah, the whereabouts of whatever he stole is just unknown.
This is who we're representing.
Right.
Got it.
He is charged with breaking in this like weapons manufacturing company. So the founder and CEO of the company is fairly old. He wasn't home at the time, but his adult daughter, I should say, was home at the time. And she's the one who called the police and has been adamantly outspoken that this guy needs to get the maximum sentence and be charged to the full extent, because like their family's house is like, it could have been like a national security issue, because they have very important technology that shouldn't be released to the public or anything like that.
Well, and now all that stuff is gone because they didn't find the stuff on him.
Okay, so her name's Mary, and she is not able to provide an account of what was taken. Besides, like, she gives generally.
Well, that's weird. You gotta be able to provide an account of what was stolen.
So she said money and jewelry and proprietary technology.
So this is a person who was stealing, household expensive items and weapons secrets.
Yeah. So that's what he's charged with. And Pitt, Walker, and Olson and Associates are
on the case. Well, we should interview him first.
What did you want to ask him?
Just tell his version of events to start with.
His name is Seth. You go and talk to Seth. You go and visit him in prison. He's been there before, so he has a record.
Okay.
So he's being held without bond. So he's stuck there. So he is like a career thief, basically. He says, okay, yeah, I mean, I broke in. It looked like a big mansion, and so I cased it. I went in, I broke the security system, and I stole whatever I could carry, but I realized I wasn't gonna make it, so I just ditched it and I ran. I realized the cops were on their way, and I was just trying to get away at that point. I wasn't thinking about stealing more stuff, because I was too late for me to make it a clean getaway. Was there any more details you wanted to know?
All he did was just decide to break into this family's house, I guess? That's all there is to it? Okay.
Yeah, he said it was it looked like a big mansion, and he saw dollar signs from how big the house was. And he cased it, and he waited until he thought it was empty, and he went in. How about this? Roll insight.
Okay, I can do that. 15 total.
You can tell that he is keeping something back.
Oh.
Like he is choosing his words carefully to not say something.
Okay. I'll tell him, Seth, we're your attorneys, and this is all private in here. I get the sense there's a little more to this story. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us everything? Roll
persuasion.
I am not very good at that. I rolled a 6. Modifier is 0.
He says that's everything that's important.
I think you should let us be the judge of that. We've been doing this a while. We might know some things that are important that you don't realize are important.
Those are the facts of the case. I haven't lied about anything I said.
It's not a matter of whether you lied. It's a matter of whether those are all the facts, and they are clearly not.
He crosses his arms and holds his ground a little.
Well, maybe we'll circle back to this.
Is there anything else you want to ask him?
Yeah, not that I can think. I'm sure there's probably something else I should. I just can't think of it right now.
All right. You have your discretion as how you want to investigate this.
I mean, we need to find out what else he's holding back. I'll see if I can get access to, like, you know, his cell phone records or something like that. Try to see if there's a person he's protecting or something like that.
Okay. Are you going to ask him for his cell phone, or are you going to...
Do we have a copy of it? If the police have acquired it, you know, we get access to all that stuff. They don't just...
Yeah. Everything that was on him during the crime.
Right, but like the phone records, do they have that?
They do not in this case because it's fairly new still. It just happened, and because it's a non-violent crime and they captured the perpetrator, they didn't see the need to look into the phone record.
Then I'll ask Seth at first and see what he says.
So you're going to ask him for his phone record or for
access to his phone? Yeah.
Actually, I don't think we did perception yet. Do perception.
Yeah, it was only 5 plus 12.
Okay. I think that's enough. So when you ask him, he tenses up a little bit. You could tell that he's not excited about that idea. He kind of like chirps quickly back with, "Why do you need my phone? What do you need to look at that for?"
Because we're your defense attorneys and we need to look at these sort of things.
He thinks about it for a little bit and he says, "Okay, I can give you that, but it's not going to make it any easier for you. Like, you're not going to understand just from looking at it." So he gives you his email and password or whatever for the phone website.
Mm-hmm.
He says you can check it when you get to your office or whatever. Here's the credentials to access my phone records. It won't help you at all.
All right. Well, I mean, can't hurt to try, right? I'll go back to the office and start going through his phone stuff.
So the phone records just contain the number that it was from and the length of the call.
That's fine for now.
Okay.
Who did he talk to on the day of the crime is like the first question.
There's 2 people he made a call to and 1 number he received a call from on the day of the heist, I guess. Heist? Crime? Whatever. Is it a heist if you fail? I guess it is still. There's 2 numbers he called and 1 number he got a call from. The length of the calls, all of them, is under 5 minutes.
Okay. So I'll flip back through, well, I mean, I'm instantly reading it or whatever, but go through the whole thing and look for those numbers and see if they come up before that day.
The number that called him is not on there anywhere else. The number that he made the call to, one of them, the first one, I'll say, the one that happened earlier in the day, that one is on there quite a bit. Not every day, but like every other day, maybe.
Let's go down that path. We're gonna need to identify who all these numbers are.
The other number, it's on there a few times, maybe once a week or so. Like somewhere between once a week or once every other week, somewhere in there.
Okay, so we got a number that's on there a lot, a number that's on there every so often, and the number that called him was only on there the night of the crime.
Right.
Okay. I'd like to start trying to identify who these people are.
All right. How are you going to run this? Are you going to call them?
Let's just start with like Googling or something like that, seeing if I can pull this up, or if I've got access to a private investigator. It's like I want to know who it is first before I just start calling, if possible.
I would say your law firm is big enough to have its own investigator.
Yeah, just tell me who these numbers are.
Okay, so you send these numbers to your investigator to look up. He says it's going to take him a little while. Is there anything else you want to do while he goes and searches this? He says it's going to take like a day or 2.
I will go to the scene of where the crime took place.
The big mansion thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Shane Miller is who is registered to. He is a CEO of Fortify, the defense manufacturing company. He is in his 70s, though. He lives in this fat mansion with his wife and his daughter. His daughter is a few years younger than you. His daughter is the only one who's home at the time. Did you want to meet and talk to her?
Not yet.
So you just want to have her like let you in so you can look, or did you want to see like outside?
Let's stay outside for the moment. Let's wander around outside. Just want to look at the place, and maybe look at where the police caught up with him.
Okay. He kind of told you that he followed some car to get there. So you drive over there, I guess, or fly over there, I guess, whatever you prefer. And you can see that there's a gate that protects a fairly large estate. The gate is closed. You can see the actual house too, to the left of the garage from the gate. The house is massive.
All right, so does it jive with his description where it looks like, hey, this is obviously a cool place to try to...
Yeah. You can tell it's fairly, what's the right word? Gaudy. Of, like, they are obviously decked out. Like, this is a very wealthy house, obviously.
Gotcha. All right, well, at least that part of his story jives. All right, at this point, I will go ask these people if it's all right if I take a look around or something like that.
Oh, okay. You ring the, what's it called? The buzzer on the entry before the gate, and you get on the intercom, and you hear a woman's voice, and she goes, hello?
I introduce myself and then say why I'm there.
She says, okay, and she buzzes you in. She meets you in front of the garage. She says, like, what can I do to help you? She would introduce herself. Her name's Mary Miller. She's the daughter of the homeowner, the CEO.
Yeah.
And she's also, like, a part of the company, too. She works at that company.
Okay.
She asks if there's anything that she can show you, or...
Yeah, show me where he broke in at. Show me where the valuables were taken from. That kind of thing would be helpful.
Like, we think he jumped the gate. Our first security camera caught him walking up towards the camera itself on the garage. We caught him on that, and he destroyed the camera.
Do you still have the footage?
Yeah. She says, I can show you the footage. This guy, we need to recover what he's stolen. It's super important that we get this back. It's our family, like, proprietary information. The reason I am even talking to you is because I wanted to, like, make sure that you can do what's needed to get him the maximum sentence. But I'll show you the video. I'll show you he's guilty.
I'm his attorney. I mean, I'm going to do what I can to represent my clients. But
he's obviously guilty. I'll show you the video. And
Okay.
So she leads you inside the house to an office that has a computer, and she pulls up a file, and it shows a man in a mask come from the direction. So the camera's angle is facing towards. So the garage is like L-shaped. And it's on one corner of the garage, and it's facing the other corner. So it has a view of all of the garage doors, but it doesn't have a view of the gate. But you see someone enter the side of the frame as if they had come from the gate. The person is wearing a mask, and they walk up to the camera, and it shows the person. They kind of like walk below the camera, and then you see some baton or whatever come out and break the camera. So the person walks from the side of the frame, goes under the camera, and then the camera breaks and turns off.
okay.
There are a few frames of the person. You can see them enter the edge of the frame. You have about from knees up of the person, so you can't see their feet. But you can't see their face because they have a mask. They are facing the camera, though. You get a view of their front. And you can tell that the clothes that the person is wearing in the video match the clothes that your client was wearing.
Okay.
And the mask was recovered as well.
What about the overall build and all that?
Yeah, it's similar. He's like same complexion, same build. After she shows you the video, she says, like, see, like, this is him. It's obviously him. I can't show you the other camera footage because it's in our lab that's in our house because we are crazy like that, and it has sensitive proprietary information on it, so we can't share it. This footage enough should be sufficient.
Well, it's not, but we can start here. We're eventually going to need to see the footage from there. Otherwise, I mean, this right now, all you've shown is a man in a mask, broke your camera. That's just vandalism. That's not theft. And then later, a person who had similar clothes and a similar mask was caught. So maybe you have my client for vandalism. But if you are trying to get him for theft, well, you're going to actually have to show that he was where your valuables were kept and that he left with them.
She says he needs to be punished for what he did.
Well, somebody does.
He did it. I know he did it. He's on camera. He's right here.
Okay, well then do you have the camera footage from in the lab?
It's the same thing. It's just why I can't give away my corporate secrets to just
I'm
anybody.
not asking to look at everything that's in there. I just want to see a guy on camera taking stuff and then leaving with the stuff he took.
But he broke that camera too, so it's the same as this. But like he walks into it and he breaks it. Just this time he's in the house.
Walk me through where he comes in the house. You don't have to take me in the room yet where anything was taken, but let's just go from where he came into the house to where he got to the room where all this stuff is.
She leads you to the master bedroom where the jewelry box of her stepmom is empty. It's still there, but all of the jewels are gone. She goes like, see, like he took all of these jewels. The jewelry here alone is worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right, but he wasn't found with the jewelry when the police caught him.
So I don't know. He got rid of it. I don't know what he did with it. Maybe he gave it to someone. Maybe he hid it.
Is this like the one street? Do you have a camera facing the street at all?
No, I don't. We have several other cameras, and they all captured him.
Well, they captured someone.
She is convinced that it's this guy.
Yeah, I know she is. I'm not. I mean, maybe it is. He's admitting to it, but there's obviously more going on here. So,
did you have any other questions for her?
I want to know. I want to know what I want to go do, and I don't know if I just want to come and say this, but I want to go look at her trash cans.
It's funny because you picked germaphobe. And this is the third time.
I know, but it's like, to me, this is like maybe where he ditched the stuff.
Are you gonna ask her to go in the trash, or are you just gonna be like, let me go?
Let me
wander about.
Walk around here real quick, because I assume they're like in the garage or something like that. So this is it is weird that but I can't help it. So
you do notice the trash can in the garage. It's like right next to you. Do you just want to like open it up and look next to her? She's standing right there next to you.
I'll ask her if she can go get me like a glass of water or something like that.
All right. She rolled deception.
23.
All right. She says, "Be right back." She leaves.
And while she's gone, I'll look in their trash can.
Their trash can is empty. She comes back with your water.
Okay. I'll drink the water.
Roll for hydration.
8. I got an 18 for hydration.
Woohoo!
I'm very hydrated.
I need to use the bathroom. Yeah, anything else you want to ask Mary Miller?
Not at the moment.
She wants to impress upon you the importance of this man being punished again.
Yeah, you said that.
But she doesn't have anything else to say.
I think she's starting to get a little mean, if you ask me, but...
Yeah. Damn Mary.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to see on the Miller compound?
Yeah, I mean, if I wouldn't mind... Well, I don't know if I'm able to, but I want to walk around a little bit. I thought the garage might have something, but I'll look around the whole thing if I'm allowed to.
Yeah, Mary, of course, wants to come with you, but she welcomes you to walk the grounds.
Yeah.
Roll perception. Oh, you rolled a 6?
Yep, on the dice.
You don't notice anything new. Yeah, well, and the Miller compound is fairly large. It's surrounded on a fence on all sides except one where it has a cliff, I guess you could call it.
Okay, yeah, can I look around the fence line and try to find where whoever it is might have climbed in or something like that?
Roll perception.
So that's 16.
Yeah, okay. You do notice that along the cliff face near where you would be walking the edge of it, you notice some scuff marks.
How far down?
No, like at the top.
At the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Take a closer look at those.
All right, let's do investigation then.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. 11 for a total of a 24.
Okay. So from what you speculate, it's either the marks of someone climbing up or climbing down.
I can't tell which it is by the direction the scuff mark is.
You can't tell what direction it is from that scuff mark, but you don't notice any dirt on any of the grass or any of the pavers.
So nobody was tracking dirt away from the scene.
Right. So it appears that it was used to go down, not up.
Interesting. So is there a camera that faces this direction?
There is not.
Still though, okay, looks like somebody got away.
So Mary finally says to you after you looking around, it's like, are you satisfied yet? Like, do you have what you need?
No.
She says intentionally, vaguely, that she heard a rumor that if this guy goes down, there could be some reward in it.
Oh, like she's trying to offer me a bribe or something like that?
Yes, but hearsay idly.
Yeah, like in a way where it's like, well, that's not what I was saying. I was just making conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because she knows you're a lawyer. You can tell that she is very serious.
Well, that makes me even more suspicious of her. She's not a nice person. You know what? I'll just let it hang in the air. I'll just let it. I won't say anything. I'll see how long she deals with the awkward pause.
She eventually says, like, it's just something I heard. My father's one to reward those he likes, but if you don't want to, then okay.
If I don't want to what?
Don't want to, do the right thing.
What's the right thing?
Convict a criminal.
You understand I'm his defense attorney. What course of action are you suggesting right now?
Have him plead to the crime that he committed.
Oh, and I would get a reward if I did that.
That's just what I heard.
Who did you hear that from?
It's something that's been said about my father a lot, that he rewards those that are good to him.
Who says that? Name a person.
My stepmother, Tiffany.
Okay, well, that was helpful. Thank you. Just like plan the robbery of her own house or something silly like that.
She sends you one last little reminder that to do the right thing.
I plan to.
Okay. Where to now?
I wanna know who Seth was calling. That's what I wanna know.
Okay. So it's getting late at this point, so we'll maybe
go to the next day.
Cycle the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next morning, you get a call from your private investigator, and they say, I was able to track down some of the information about those numbers you were looking up.
Yeah, tell me everything. Start with the bad news.
That number that calls him repeatedly.
Yeah.
That's registered to him.
What? He calls his own number?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, how does he do that?
He probably bought the phone, both phones, and he gave it to someone else.
And you don't know who that is? You can't...
He pays the bill on both of them, so...
Right, but I wanted you to find out who was making the calls.
I can give you an area. I was able to ping the tower, but it's a pretty big area, so I don't know how much we're gonna find out from that. That's the bad news.
That's a start. Okay.
So the number that's calling him the most is the one I don't know anything about. Good news, the number that called him, the one-time call, is a solicitor.
Mm-hmm.
False flag there. So that one we're going to ignore. The number that he called, that he calls regularly, it registered to a Tommy Chen. I took the liberty of looking him up, and Tommy he has a rap sheet. He has been charged with some petty crimes, some accessory to
bad things.
It was, not too bad. He did a year for armed robbery. He did some burglary. No one was ever hurt in his crimes, but he was never in a good place with the law. And he's a known associate of Seth. I think this Tommy guy is maybe someone who you might want to talk to.
I think so too. You know where I can find him?
Yeah, I got his address right here. Blah, 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 address.
Right, okay.
So you going to call him first, or are you just going to show up at his house?
I'm just going to show up. No need to call here. Is it a house? Is it an apartment? What is it?
It's a house, but it is in a poor neighborhood.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of like a rundown house.
Okay. I will,
knock on the door?
Yep.
A man answers the door and asks, what do you need?
I ask him if he's Mr. Chen.
He kind of looks at you cautiously and says, yeah, I'm Tommy.
I'll just go ahead and introduce myself as Seth's lawyer.
His face changes to more relief a little bit, and he says, oh, did Seth get pinched again? Of course he did. Do you want to come in?
I nod.
All right. He shows you inside. It's fairly dirty in there. He has a friend sitting on like the love seat as well. He says something to his friend in Chinese, and his friend gets up and leaves the room.
I just take a quick scan of the place, see what I see.
It's kind of like a poor bachelor pad. He hangs out with his homies there. He doesn't really have a lot of books. He has a medium-sized TV. It's kind of the most expensive thing in the house. He asks you if there's anything he can help you with in Seth's defense.
I sit down across this like, so I'm going to cut to the chase there a little bit here. I know you were there, and I'd like you to tell me what exactly was going on.
All right. So are you going, is this a, like an intimidation?
I mean, kind of. It's kind of like I don't actually know he was there, but it sure seems like he was. So this is kind of like an informed bluff. I kind of want to just like throw it out there and get his reaction.
So I'll let you roll whatever you want, intimidation or deception. Roll this slide.
13 plus 4, 17.
Okay. He says he didn't rat me out. He's better than that. How'd you know?
He didn't rat you out, but no, I'm his attorney, and this is my job to figure these things out.
He says, I can't go down for another one. This will be my third strike, and I can't go back to jail.
Well, we might be able to work that out, but I still am going to need you to tell me everything that happened that night.
He asks if he can talk to Seth.
How about you talk to me first?
All right, here's your second chance. Roll your persuasion.
Okay. 0. This isn't going to be the best.
Persuasion?
Yeah. 7 for a total of a 7.
I'll remind you you have a hero point, which allows you to re-roll die if you'd like.
It seems like a good time to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see if this gets any better. Not much better. 11 for a total of an 11.
Okay, the DC was 10, so you passed. He looks at you and he goes, "All right. I mean, if it's gonna help Seth, I'll tell you what happened." He says, "Okay, well, we followed someone in a nice Maserati back to the compound, and we saw how wealthy this family was, and we decided it'd be a good target. So me and Seth and this girl, we went out and we planned exactly what we were going to do, what we were going to take, how much time we had. There's a few things we didn't account for when we got there. So I went up and hopped the gate and ran up and smashed that camera in the front."
Ah, so that was you. Okay.
Yeah, that was me. We wore matching outfits. So, it seemed like a smart thing to do. Like professionals, right? That's what professionals do. Uniforms and everything, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I smashed that, and we made our way into the house, and we ran in, and we snatched everything we could. We got a jewelry from upstairs. We found some weird stuff in the basement, and we took that. Yeah, we pretty much got whatever we could, anything that looked valuable. We heard a noise, though, midway through. We gave ourselves 10 minutes to take as much as we could, and after about 5, we heard, someone come in, and so we just ditched as quick as we could. Me and the girl took the cliff down to not arouse suspicion. Seth ran out front, and I guess that's where he got pinched.
Yeah, so who's the girl?
I don't think I should talk about that.
I think you should.
He says Seth would kill me.
So is it Seth's girl?
Seth would kill me. I can't talk about it.
Okay. Well, I think you've already answered. So who has the stuff you stole?
I mean, do I have to give it back?
Probably, yeah.
I'm not going down for this, though.
I did. Even if you're not, which I don't think you will, belongings probably need to be returned. It usually will smooth things over.
So I have some of them. I need to defense some of it.
Okay.
I have a little bit of the jewelry left. That stuff I found in the basement looked expensive, so I fenced that stuff first.
That's okay. Where did you sell that to?
She's trying to get me killed. If I give away that fence, I'm not just a dead man. My family's in trouble too. I cannot give you defense.
Okay, you're making this very challenging. You guys keep gloves on the whole time, or did you take your gloves off at any point?
No, professional, man. Gloves whole time.
Okay. The camera footage is going to show that from inside the house that there was 3 of you in there, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we broke that.
Right, but there's other cameras in there.
No, I mean, we broke that. We broke the cameras.
All of them?
Well, I mean, we broke the, what is it, the computer thing in there. The recording device, we broke it.
How did you do that?
Like, we planned this. We're professional. We went into the room that had the recording tapes or whatever you call it, and we broke it. Smashed it with a crowbar.
Well, I was able to watch the recording of you coming up to the house.
Huh. Well, maybe they had backup somewhere. Oh, yeah. You watched the one from the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different circuit. It matched up with the one that went on the gatehouse. It matched up with the one that went on the garage and the one on the guest house. The ones in the house. We smashed that.
So there's no footage of you inside the house then?
I hope not. They would have seen a lot more than they bargained for if they had that footage. Did you see any footage of in the house?
No. The mistress of the home refused to show me that footage from the interior.
She's bluffing. She doesn't have it.
Okay. Well, you better be sure about that, because otherwise your friend is in serious trouble.
Wow. I think they'd have a lot more if they did have it. 'Cause the things we talked about, I mean, like, we didn't, like, show them our IDs or anything on the footage, but they would have been able to track us down if they had that. I don't think they have it.
What did you say while you were in there?
I mean, they would have our names.
Did you call each other? You called each other, but so you're telling me you're professionals, but while you were inside doing the job,
Mistakes were made.
like
But we're
professionals do.
Yeah, we're professional though. It's very professional. It's hard to do. Very professional, yes. Like, top class right here.
Okay.
I even have a business card. It says acquisitions. If you want.
May I see your business? Yeah, I'll take your business card.
Tommy Chen, acquisitions specialist.
I'll give him one of my business cards too. It's like, and just in case at some point you're in trouble with the law, and I imagine that's going to happen again, feel free to give me a call.
He nods and puts it in his pocket.
I'm trying to think of how to help your friend. It's helpful that there's no footage in there, because that's just going to show that there's not going to be anything that proves he was in the house. So all they've got him on now at most is he broke the exterior light or the exterior camera and ran away.
That was me.
That was you. Well, yeah, but as you said, you were dressed up the same, and then the cops found him with the same clothes that you had. So the cops think they've got their guy. So did the woman of the house see? How many of you did she see inside?
I don't think she saw any of us.
So what?
We heard her coming and we ran away. He says, "Do you want my uniform? Would that help? Do you want to see my uniform?"
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
So he leaves the room, walks in a door, and comes back out with an identical ski mask, jacket, and black pants that were on the video. Roll investigation.
That is a natural 20. Investigation with a plus 13 for a total of a 33.
Okay, so you notice a few things that, even though the uniform is the same, there are a few like minor differences between this guy's outfit and the outfit that was collected by the police of Seth. So they are the same. However, there's a rip in the jacket, and it exposes the under fabric in the shoulder of the jacket. So it is noticeable, and you recall from seeing the video that it is also noticeable on the video, and it is not on Seth's jacket. So there is no rip on Seth's jacket, and there is a rip on Tommy's on the shoulder. They have very high def video apparently.
Okay.
Other than that, the uniforms are identical.
So we got some differences here that when I go back to the camera footage, I can point out to the police as like, hey, look, these are clearly not the same. Okay, that's some good stuff there. I was hoping I was defending an innocent person the whole time. This is a bit of a bummer. Okay, so let me ask you another thing.
All right.
So, are you like anywhere in your rap sheet or whatever? Are you a known associate of Seth?
We've been questioned together, if that's what you mean.
That would be what I mean. So, because here's the other part of this. Once I do the best I can to make them realize it's not Seth, they don't have their guy. I mean, they might get a little suspicious and they might start to wonder who else it might be. And so they might come talk to you, and it would probably be best if you did not have those belongings on you if say the police came here and searched the place.
Sounds like you're advising him to destroy evidence.
I don't know what I'm advising. It's like,
That's the morally gray.
yeah. So look, you might. I try to think of good advice here. I try to think of like what would a lawyer do here.
You have law plus 11. If you want to roll it and have your character decide for you.
Yeah, let's figure something out here. That's a 3 plus 11, a total of a 14.
Okay, you remind him that what he has can and will be used against him.
Yeah,
he should definitely not destroy it because it's
destroying
evidence
is
of
bad.
the crime. It's in evidence of his crime, and if it were destroyed, then there'd be nothing tying him to this thing that he could go to jail for. So he definitely turn himself in. Be a good citizen.
He's not going to turn himself in.
Probably not. What now? You gonna anything else you want to ask Tommy?
Can you not do any crimes for at least like a little while?
He says, "I gotta eat."
Eat ramen, man. I need you get a job and eat some ramen. Like I need you to not do crime for a little bit.
I'll keep off as long as I can.
Yeah, just anytime you think about doing a bit of crime, think about your friend going to jail for a while, and maybe that'll keep you going.
He nods.
Well, okay. At this point, let's go back and talk to Seth.
All right. Back to county lockup, whatever. Okay, you get your time in the interrogation room, whatever it is, with Seth. He says, like, "What's up, lawyer?"
I tell him what my name is again, so he knows.
What is your name?
Edward Spencer.
Edward. Yes, Spencer. Yeah. Okay.
So I've been having a fairly productive past little bit. I've been chatting with Mary, over at the house there. Been chatting with your friend Tommy. He's a nice guy to talk to.
He shoots you a surprised look when you say Tommy, and then he goes back to his normal look, and he goes, "I called Tommy."
Mm-hmm. What else? I just kind of drum my fingers and wait and look at him like, what? And if he doesn't say anything soon, I'll just go like, "What do you think I've been doing, man?"
He says, "Okay, maybe not just me, but if I need to go down for this alone, I'm not going to drag anybody with me."
It's very noble of you, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But it is a little frustrating when I'm trying to represent you and you don't tell me everything.
I mean, I'd rather go down for it than bring anyone else.
Would you like to not go down for it, or potentially go down for a little less time?
I mean, that's ideal. Is there any way I can do that without having to give you the information?
No. You have to talk to me. This is how this works.
Okay, Tommy was there.
Good. Who else?
That's all that matters.
No, it's not. I decide you have been lying to your decision-making privileges about what is important to this are revoked. I make those decisions now. So tell me everything.
He says, "Okay, there was a third person, but I'm not going to give you any information about them. I don't even want to bring up their name in anywhere it could be overheard."
Okay, you can write it on a piece of paper and then eat it. I mean, you're going to tell me.
He doubles down on not giving out away that information.
So, okay, I'll guess I'll just have to go ask her myself. I'm going to go ahead and presume this is the person whose phone you are paying for, and I should have their name by this evening thanks to my private investigator.
You can see his face get some combination of shock and anger, and then he looks at you and he goes, please.
Alternatively, you can tell me everything that she's involved with, and maybe if I find that you have been forthright with me, her any statement she might give to me would just be redundant and I don't need it.
He looks at you and he goes, okay, I'll give you this. It's my sister.
Yeah?
She's just a kid. I've been taking care of her for a few years, and she just joined us. I didn't know she was coming, and I don't know, she just wanted, this was her first time out, and I didn't expect it to go bad, and I just can't have her a part of this.
Nobody ever expects it to go bad, but okay, I understand.
That's why I didn't want her to come.
So, I mean, why weren't you just able to tell her no?
You don't understand. She does what she wants. She's a kid.
So how old is she?
She's a teenager. You know, teenagers, they don't listen.
Okay, is she going to be quiet about this, or is she going to tell her friends what she got into?
No, she's not going to tell anybody.
Okay.
But I can't, anything that even remotely ties to her, I can't have her involved.
I'll try to keep it that way. And I want to, like, insight check and see if he's, like, holding anything back or if he's telling me everything. That is a natural 20, so plus 8, so 28. Yeah.
You can see the relief of having told you that last piece kind of, like, go over him a little bit, and that he finally feels like he's come clean, and that's his story. You gather that was the piece that he was hiding before.
Okay. You know, you potentially could have saved some time and effort if you had just told me this to begin with.
He's like, it's not worth the risk. She's more important than your time.
It's very kind of you to decide that for me.
If you rolled better.
Alright, well, so now for a bit of good news. Chatting with Tommy, I gave him the spiel about what Tommy's saying, how they, breaking the camera out there and versus the two different circuits, and how the Mary was her name again. I keep forgetting. She might be bluffing in this situation. And I also point out the differences, or mention the differences in clothes to him as well, saying so that you maybe have a little bit of coverage there.
He laughs and he says, "Yeah, Tommy ripped his coat jumping over that gate. I thought he was a moron, but I'm glad he did it."
Yeah, well, I kind of think you're both morons, but we can move past that. Yeah, as a brief aside here, I don't think you should do any more work with Tommy.
Yeah, I grew up with Tommy, though. He's an idiot, but he's my idiot.
Well, he's going to get you into more trouble, so I don't know what you're doing.
It happens.
It doesn't have to. Anyways, conversations for another time, maybe.
I can tell you a little bit about what we took.
That's a start.
I don't know what Tommy fenced and what Tommy kept, but we took... I'm assuming this is about what was in the basement.
Yeah.
We went in and we noticed the lock on the door, and we decided that, like, you're going to lock a door inside your house. There's probably good stuff down there. So we broke the door to the basement, and we went down and we saw all this, like, advanced technology. We didn't know what a lot of it was. There's a few of it that was in cases, so we grabbed a few of the cases. There's a few of it that was just loose. It looked metal machines with buttons on them. Some of them look like guns, but they didn't do anything when you pulled the trigger. I figured they might have been out of bullets, or I don't know.
So hold on a moment. Hold on a minute here. You find a thing. You're breaking into a house to steal things. You find something that looks like a gun, but you're not sure. So to test it, you pull the trigger, not knowing what's going to happen.
I told you, Tommy's an idiot.
Okay. Yeah. Again, don't work with this guy anymore. I don't. I'm really surprised I have to keep trying to make this case.
Yeah, so luckily nothing happened when we pulled the trigger, but we did take it. We figured that maybe at the very least it could be sold to some rival corporation or something. We saw the dollar signs. We saw getting to eat another week or another month, maybe, for the price of some of that stuff that we stole. There was a lot of stuff. Did he sell all of it to the fence?
I'll go ahead and tell him. Well, I mean, I don't know why that would surprise you. It sounds like he was, prepared that you were going to go down and he was just going to move on.
Well, at least he didn't turn on me.
I didn't really need to, I guess.
So what are my chances, Spencer?
Well, we're going to find out here. The real question will be, do they have any video from inside the house? If they don't, then they've got you in similar clothes, but not the right clothes, they don't have anybody else there. Better chance of a plea deal, at least, because there's the right jury might let you off, and that's something that's not good. Prosecutors don't like that sort of thing. It looks bad when they lose, so sometimes they're willing to just take a plea with a lesser sentence. But I don't know what I mean. The really it would just be you broke the camera. That's maybe all they got you on.
I'll take it.
We'll see. We're gonna find out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll go see what we can do. I have a few ideas here.
So do you want to go talk to the prosecutors?
Yep, I do. Do they have a copy of the video footage and also the clothes that they seized from him?
Yeah, they have the police report of the clothes, and they have a copy of the breaking the camera.
Yeah, I'll arrange a meeting with the prosecutor, and I'll ask the guy to arrange an officer to bring over the clothes they have, as because just kind of explains, yeah, we need to go over something here. I'm probably gonna, I'll be a little more just kind of ominous in there, or cryptic. There's a few things we need to discuss here.
Okay, I guess we'll skip ahead to that. So you meet with the prosecutor. I don't have a name for him. Let's get a name. Okay, Peter Wilson, prosecutor.
At law.
Prosecutor at law. I like it. So he meets up with you. He feels fairly confident about his chances with this case, and he goes, "Here for the plea deal?"
Actually, I'm here to give you a heads up. Maybe we can sort this out without involving the judge. I need you to let my client go because you don't have the right guy. Did you bring the clothes there? I think we're gonna clear this up here pretty quick.
He calls in an officer who brings it in the evidence bags.
Yeah. So I kind of point out. So just look here closely at these and all that. And while you're doing that, let's bring up the video footage here.
Okay. They have a TV screen in the meeting room that you're in, and the officer's pulling the stuff, signing out the evidence bag so they can take stuff out of it. I'm not sure this is the way you do it, but it's probably not. But it
sounds fine to me.
Yeah. The officer probably signed stuff. You're playing the security camera footage, and he kind of watches it for a second. He goes, this is making your case? That's what he was wearing.
Yes, but if you look carefully here in the video, you'll notice there is rips, and I'll point out all this stuff on there that this is the things before, the difference is there. And if you noticed in the clothes you see, none of those things are there. It would be one thing if it were in the footage, it were unripped, and then here in the bag here, with the clothes you have here, that was ripped. Things can get ripped later. But how does something that was ripped unrip itself? It can't.
After you say that to him, you can see his prideful expression leave, and he looks at the unripped shirt for a second. He flips it over, or has the officer flip it over for him, or whatever, if he can't touch it. And he looks back at the video to the scene that has the obvious rip in it, and he shakes his head. And he asks, "What do you want?"
Well, I figured, you're not down for the count yet. You actually have a chance here, and you haven't even realized it. Because this is just the footage from the exterior. So what you need in order to keep my client, behind bars awaiting trial, and then eventually convict him is you just need the footage from inside the house.
He thinks about that for a second and he says, okay, I'll be right back. And he leaves the room. As he's leaving, he pulls out his phone and he starts dialing. So he walks away. He's out of the room for 5 minutes or so. He comes back in and he says, we're going to be dropping charges.
Yeah, so that's a little bit surprising. I thought for sure that just in a matter of a phone call, you would get the footage from in the house. Is there no footage from inside the house?
He says, I just talked to our witness and they decided not to provide us with that. So,
well, that's a little weird, isn't it? I mean, are you sure you don't want to call her again and ask her if she's sure? I mean,
I want to. I don't like not being able to take scumbags off the street, but...
Well, now hold on a minute there. You don't have any evidence that my client is a scumbag, as you said. I mean, this whole situation suddenly feels a little bit more unreasonable to me. You asked for just simple video footage that would show my client inside the house, and she's unwilling to give it to you. I would be starting to think that maybe she's the scumbag, because she's not being who's being forthright here with you. I came down here on behalf of my client and I even gave you the chance. You started asking what my deal was, what my offer was, and I told you no. You still had one more card to play. I didn't have to tell you that. So who's really being forthright here and who's being dishonest?
I feel ya. I wish we could get it, but I just called her. She said no. It's her house. I can't make her say it was robbed.
Are you sure it was even true, though? I mean, who the heck knows anymore?
Here in, where are we, New York? If she wants to destroy her own property, she can. We can't stop that.
Yeah. Well, tough break for you, but I hope you can get my client out of jail here really quick. I don't think he should have ever been there to begin with, so I don't see any reason why he should stay in there a second longer than he has to.
Yeah, we'll be drafting his release.
All right. Right away, right? Not going to take lunch and then draft it.
He says, yeah, I'll get it done. Tell your client to stay out of other people's houses.
Yeah, I'll tell him something like that.
Okay. 15 minutes after you leave the room, you get a phone call, and you don't recognize the number. Are you going to answer?
Yeah, a lawyer probably would answer numbers he doesn't recognize.
You answer the phone, and you can tell that it is the voice of Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And she is very upset that you led to the charges getting dropped.
I asked her, what makes you think I did that?
You're his defense attorney, and I told you that he was guilty. We had the footage, and you knew it, I knew it.
If you had the footage, why didn't you give it to to Mr. Wilson?
They destroyed the footage. I had some of it.
Then you didn't have the footage.
How would they know how to destroy? Where would they even know where to look?
Who's they?
Seth, that guy. He came into my house where I live, and he stole not only our jewels, but our corporate technology.
Clearly he didn't.
She goes, I'll remember this, and she hangs up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to skip ahead. You get a bunch of other cases going, so we're going to fast forward to 2020. You, at this point, have been a lawyer moved up. Andy retired, and you actually were promoted, so now you are a junior partner at this law firm.
Now back to Jade after Seth gets out of jail and gets back to her.
A few months later, Seth wakes you up in the middle of the night, and he says, Jade, there's someone, maybe multiple someone's in the house, and I think they're coming for me. We need to get out of here.
Oh,
He says, I have someone I want to go talk to. I think I can get out of this. I just need to make sure that you're safe too. You hear the noise of someone searching through the house. He says to you, let's teleport us out of here.
okay.
I have 50,000 from our stash money. Let's just get out of here right now.
Okay. Teleport us out.
Okay. You see from the road that you teleported to, or outside your house, he says, I want you to go stay with Tommy. I need to go talk to somebody to try to figure out what's going on. Just stay safe. I don't want anything to happen to you.
But I'm a little worried. Are you sure you can do this alone?
Well, I don't want to get you involved in this. And I feel like if we split up, they're going to have two places to look instead of one. So if we split up, we can divide their focus.
Okay, if you're sure, if you think this is the best route to go, I'll trust you. I know something bad's gonna happen, Anna.
Is it you say that because you know it's the sixth arc and you know what has to happen?
Maybe.
Where do you go?
I'll go to Tommy's.
Okay. You go to Tommy's. Tommy isn't there.
Maybe I decide to go to Fence to see if they know what's going on.
So you go to Fence, and he welcomes you, and he goes, "How's it going, kiddo?"
Hey, you told me to come to you if I was worried about anything. I'm kind of worried about my brother. It seems like somebody's trying to follow him, and was hoping you could help us out.
All right, I'll look into it. You can feel free to crash on the couch, make yourself at home.
Okay, thanks. You'll let me know as soon as you know anything?
Mm-hmm. Do you know anybody who knows anything?
Maybe the lawyer? I don't know.
All right, I'll have them tailed. I'll see what happened.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you probably go to sleep and don't sleep so well that night, with worry, I'm guessing.
After Jade and Seth part ways, Seth makes a call to his lawyer, someone he can trust that he knows could help him sort things out.
I will answer the phone, but I'll initially not act like I recognize the number. Just say this is Edward Spencer. So
He says, "Hey, this I don't know if you remember me, but this is Seth. You helped get me exonerated for a robbery."
I remember. Hope you're calling me under good circumstances, not because you're in trouble again.
Not exactly. I need your help.
Okay.
Can you meet me?
Yeah, I can. Where at?
There's a parking garage on 8th and Jackson. Can you just drive over there and I'll meet you there?
I can. Parking garage is a little bit strange of a place to meet. You sure you don't want to just meet in like a diner or something like that?
I don't want to be around people.
Okay. Anything I need to know before I'm going? It wouldn't hurt for you to tell me a little.
I'm in trouble.
How bad?
I think someone's after me.
Okay. Do you just want to come to my place?
Like I say, I want to try to get away from people. Like, I feel like just somewhere secluded would be good.
Okay. Well, I'll meet you there.
Okay.
And I'll bring and ask you off the phone. I'll go get my gun and bring that.
Okay. And are you gonna bring just the gun?
No, I'll bring whatever usual stuff I would bring for. Because I never like that. Do I have like a hood or something like that?
You could. I mean, you could take whatever if you want to wear a hood. You could.
Yeah, whatever my face disguise is, I'll keep that around just in case. Yeah, I don't imagine myself as a person who is like, oh look, so he's so and so's on TV saving something like that. Like, not that kind of superhero. It's more just like, don't be recognized.
Okay, so you drive to the parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
You pull up to the 3rd floor. You see Seth up there, and he waves to you.
Okay, I'll do a quick scan of the area real quick.
There's cars around. I mean, there's 30 cars that are parked in this parking garage around.
Is it well lit or is it dimly lit?
It's well lit. You don't see anybody else around. It's around 10 at night. It's more of a long-term parking garage. So there's a lot of cars there. You don't see anybody else besides Seth.
Okay, I'll go walk over to him.
He says, "Thank you for coming. Like, I didn't know who to go to. I had to leave my house. I don't know, but like I feel like someone broke into my house. I was scared for my sister. I had her. She was over at the time. She was staying with me, and I had told her to get out of the house. And I went here. Like, someone my house had been rearranged. Like they were looking for something.
Ransacked?
I guess. Like, there was nothing missing. And then I heard a noise outside, like they were still there, and I came straight here. I told my sister to get out. We went our separate ways. I didn't know what else to do. Like, Tommy is in jail. He got a 6-month sentence. So I don't know if he told someone about me or something, and someone's after me because of it. But I just didn't know who else to go to.
Well, I'm glad you came to me.
Roll perception.
Okay. 12.
12, okay. You hear a car door close from a direction that you thought there was nobody in.
Okay. I will position myself to be between the sound and Seth, and I'll look that direction.
The direction that the noise came from, there's a van. It's like a white van, and you see some motion behind it, and it looks like several people, and they're kind of like spreading out.
So you recognize any of these people?
I can't even see them.
Okay, let's start walking out of here.
So are you going to walk down the car ramp? Is that...
Where's my car relative to this?
You are next to your car, but it is in a parking spot. You can like hop in your car.
They're not between me and the down, are they?
No, they're between you and up.
Okay. I asked Seth how he is behind the wheel. Good getaway, man?
He says, I've been known to partake.
I hand him my keys. I say, start the car and start backing up. I shuffle to the passenger side, and at this point I'm bringing my hand to my gun as I look at these guys across the road.
I like it. Let's roll for initiative.
Okay. Natural 1.
Okay.
Not rolling very well tonight.
Seth also rolled a 1. So you guys are both last.
Okay.
From the direction that you heard the noise, you see 3 people walk out from behind the van. We'll do them one at a time. So the first one, he sees you reach towards your hip, and he also does the same thing. You see him pull out a pistol.
I said we all can still go home. It's not too late.
He hears you and ignores you.
Yeah. Figured.
He doesn't move because his move action is taken up by taking out the pistol. And he fires a shot at Seth. It misses and hits the car next to your car. The next one runs directly towards you and Seth. He makes it basically right behind your car, and he then pulls out a knife, but he used his action, so he's behind your car with a knife. The next one also pulls out a pistol and takes his shot. This one's going to shoot at you.
Okay.
He misses. He hits the back windshield of your car, and it breaks.
Well, shit.
And then you hear tires screeching from below. Your turn.
Well, this is not the best. Let's just shoot the guy with the knife, and we'll see how that goes.
All right. Roll. See if you're going to hit. You have pretty good shooting guns ability.
Son of a bitch. I rolled a 2, and so that's a total of a 10.
You miss.
Yeah, I figured.
You shot just over his left shoulder, and it hit the middle pillar in the center of the parking garage. You still have a free action if you want to do anything.
I'll say that was a warning shot.
Roll deception.
Okay. It's a 7 plus 4, 11.
He's unfazed by your claims.
Yeah, well, I would not be either, so.
Seth is gonna charge at the guy with the knife to try to tackle him.
I wanted him to get in the car. We're getting out of here, man.
No, he did not listen.
Yeah.
So he tackles him to the ground, and the guy with the knife is pinned on the ground.
Okay.
And you can see that the force that he hit the ground injured him, the guy that was knocked on the ground.
Edward and Seth are able to win the fight. 2 of the attackers get away in the van. 2 of the attackers lay unconscious near them, but both Edward and Seth received substantial injuries. They awaited for medical help to arrive and were transported to the hospital. While there, they spoke to the police about their attackers. Edward was released, and will transition to Jade for the next part of the story.
In the morning, you wake up, and Fence is sitting in your room, and he says, "Listen, Tiny, I have something I need to tell you. It's going to be hard to hear. I think you know what the news is."
No.
Seth was in a shootout last night, and he actually survived it, but someone had it in for him, and they ended up killing him in the hospital.
Oh my god.
He was with someone, though, and I was able to get a little bit of information about him. I can give that to you, but I don't want you to go off on your own and just go murder this guy.
I don't know what else to do. Who was it? What was the... I have to do something. Right now, I can't even wrap my head around that he's gone. He can't be gone.
So he says, this guy that was with him, his name's Edward. I wasn't able to find out a whole lot about him. I got a picture of him right here, and he gives you a picture of, it looks like a long-distance photograph of him.
Mm-hmm.
He was with him in the hospital. I don't know their relationship at all. I saw this guy talking to the cops along with Seth, though, at the hospital. As soon as we heard about the shootout, we had one of our guys go over to the hospital and check it out. But before we could get there, something happened to him. This is his name. His name is Edward Spencer.
Do you know what the shootout was about?
No, we don't even know where the shootout happened yet. The cops know, but they're not saying anything.
Like, why? Why did it happen? Why? No. The inevitable happened. I wasn't prepared. You're never prepared.
For the backstory that you created, yeah. That is literally all I have planned for Arc 6. So what do you want to do? So Fence is willing to help you with whatever you want. He gave you a picture of this guy and his name.
I want to go like talk to that guy or figure out why he was with my brother. Who is he? Because I need answers. That's where I'm at right now. I feel like I would want answers and why he was in a shootout. What was he doing? And who killed him? So I can seek my revenge. Well, Fence has a lot of like people.
Yeah, Fence has some context. Do you want to try to have Fence hire a private investigator?
Yeah, I guess I could have Fence hire a private investigator to find the Edward guy, because I don't even know where to start with that.
Okay. He's able to find out a few pieces of information that you didn't have. Edward Spencer is actually the guy's lawyer, Seth's lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
That there was some shootout at a parking garage somewhere, that both Seth and the lawyer survived, and they were taken to the hospital together, and that the lawyer left, and not long after the lawyer left, Seth was killed by drug overdose or poison in his IV.
So somebody that was in the hospital at some point.
Yeah.
After Seth was killed, the police gave Edward a call to notify him that the person he was brought in with was killed, and they asked him if he was in need of protection. Edward told them that he was the victim's lawyer and that he had no reason to suspect his client's killers would want to harm him too. The cop then notifies Edward that the killing was odd because the killer left a note behind, but they were unable to read it, and it was written in some type of code. Edward then went back to the hospital and convinced the officer to let him have a touch of the note. The note read, "I'm sorry to do this to you. You crossed paths with the wrong people, and the fixer is here to end you quickly and quietly so that you don't have to live in fear. In your next life, be careful who you mess with." After telling the authorities of the fixer, he soon receives a call from Jeff Nordling from Phi. Jeff tells him that his best codebreakers were unable to decipher this code, and Jeff invites him to be a consultant on the case because there are more notes left by the fixer and they need help decoding them. He then sets a time to meet Jeff at Phi headquarters to discuss the next steps. Jade gets some of this information from the Fence's PI hired to watch Edward.
The police are treating it like a murder, obviously. They did not arrest Edward Spencer. In fact, he was overheard scheduling a meeting with one of the vice presidents of the superpower organization Phi, and he has a meeting scheduled to go talk to them. So he's dealing with the superpowered people.
Okay.
So, like, if you wanted to go confront him, that would be an opportunity, because you know where he's going to be and when.
Okay. Yeah, let's go confront him. I can't believe you killed my brother.
You killed your brother. You told me to do it. I didn't expect you to go to Fence, actually. I was surprised you went there.
Oh. Well, yeah.
I'm cool with that, though.
How else would I get information? Fence was so nice to me, and they said, that I would, if there was anything I ever needed, I could go to them.
Yeah, he said he was so nice right after shooting that guy.
Yeah, but he gets things done fast. Do you see how quickly he got me the information I needed?
Same day, yeah.
This marks the end of Part 4 and the Awakenings arc. We really appreciate you taking the time to listen to Golden Squad. If you are enjoying the story and the characters so far, be sure to let us know by sending us a message or leaving us a comment on one of our social media pages. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, /X, Instagram, YouTube, or directly on a podcast platform. Just look for Golden Squad Pod, or you can even email us at goldensquadpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're feeling particularly generous, you can buy one or all of us a coffee or set up a recurring donation on Ko-fi.com, that's co-fi.com/Golden Squad. I will also try to set up some special memberships there so you all can have an opportunity to interact with this world as well. In the next arc, we'll see all of the characters finally meet each other and figure out how to be heroes of Phi in order to take on their first foe, the Fixer.